This is the 138th episode of CloudFocus Weekly for the last day of May 2013. This episode is titled Home Sweet Home. CloudFocus Week is sponsored by Arkus, your cloud community experts. I'm your host and Chase Natwood, I guess. And joining me, the co-host, in his moving t-shirt.
The one and only The Permissioner t-shirt.
The Permissioner t-shirt is Justin Elsing. Justin, how are you doing on this fine moving day?
I only move in Arkus t-shirts.
That's fabulous. So for everybody knows, A, for the podcast, and B, for the sound of whatever you're hearing, we are in our newest of many podcast studios. So this is the newest one.
We're so mobile. We're so open.
We are so social.
We podcast from anywhere.
So this is an actual dedicated room, which is going to be kind of weird, but we have a dedicated room now that we will probably be doing most of our podcasts from.
You know what we need in here? I just thought about that. As you said, dedicated room.
Baffling?
Yeah,
the stuff that
is that what that's called?
Sound. Yeah,
that styrofoamy stuff.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
We need that.
Not for a podcast, no.
I don't know. I mean, podcasts are like right up there.
Yeah, there's like this and then podcasts.
In terms of media and consumption, podcast is like right up there.
So we moved. Arkus actually moved this morning. We moved 2 blocks down the street. And we did it manually. We literally moved.
No ETL tool.
No ETL tool. No whatever. We actually picked up stuff and moved it down the street this morning before it got to 91 degrees in New York.
And before Times Square was mobbed with those who come to Times Square.
That's correct.
For the last day of May.
And so now we're in a new studio. Our new studio is sort of kind of done. It's not really done yet.
No, it's not done.
But I'll describe it for the users out there, listeners. So our new studio actually has a nice color wall, which has a nice Arkus green to it, and then has 2 walls of nothing but whiteboard paint.
Whiteboard paint.
So like there's 2 huge walls that are nothing but whiteboard. You can just do whiteboard craziness on it. And then we're going to be putting in some like paraphernalia, some Arkus paraphernalia.
Once this thing is done, we should like tweet out some pictures.
Tweet some pics
so that people can see it, because now they've sat through a couple minutes of us babbling about it, and
now they need a picture.
They can't even see it.
This podcast is useless without pictures. All right, so that's sort of the number one thing on our agenda. But following up to that,
the number one and most important thing
is that we moved
in the cloud this week. Is that Arkus moved 3
moved.
blocks south.
Yes. All right. Well, we have a blog post of the week. And we have some news from Gmail. And then we also have one of the things that slipped by me in terms of Summer 13 stuff.
Yeah, this one's kind of cool. It didn't slip by me, just didn't make my list.
I feel like this should have made everybody's list.
Really?
I
feel like there's work involved, but we'll get to it.
We'll get to it, and then we'll make our CloudFocus app picks of the week. And I'm sure yours is going to be thrilling and not something that you thought about 4 seconds before the podcast started.
Say what?
All right. So on blog.arkusinc.com this week is why sales teams should be excited about Summer 13.
Yep. Part of the continuing series of
why X should be excited about X.
Well, yeah. Well, it's going to be why sales teams should be excited about insert season here, insert number here.
Okay. So you're saying this is just a template that anybody can fill out?
No, not just anybody, and not just a template, but I think I know we're going to continue as the releases go on. We're going to do our overarching release blog posts that people seem to know and love. And then we're going to try and focus on why sales people should be excited.
Wait, do salespeople actually use Salesforce at this point?
That's what we're getting at. We think salespeople are still the core users of Salesforce.com.
And these are not those dumb salespeople that we constantly talk about.
Not the stupid sales guy.
Stupid sales guy.
So
let me just tell you a fun story. So I was at a prospect the other day, and I don't know if they listen. Doesn't really matter. And we're sitting in a room with 2 technical people, me, and then 2 sales
So what
tech
are you,
people.
like someone in the middle?
I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm not really a sales guy, but I can play one on TV.
On this podcast?
I can play one on this podcast. And so one of the prospects, one of the people who wasn't sales, said, "Oh yeah, the stupid salespeople won't get it right or something." And I was like, "You just insulted two of the people in the room. One, the person who sales for Arkus, shall not be named, and then the other one, which was sort of the executive sponsor of the project and someone we've worked with a million times." And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, just call out the stupid salespeople."
Always. I like self-deprecating salespeople who call themselves, "I'm just the stupid sales guy, but," and then they lay this whole thing on you. I'm just the stupid sales guy,
just
but.
a stupid sales guy.
So anyway, there's 3 features pointed out here. One of which was in the overarching post, so we won't even bother mentioning it because you probably already read about it. But we'll talk. I like this activity enhancements one that was mentioned here.
Yeah, sure. Tell me about
it.
So a Salesforce Summer 13 feature.
Correct. So activities were moved to shared activities, I guess a few releases back.
Yep.
And you could relate up to 10 contacts to one activity.
Mm-hmm.
Now that number is bumping to 50.
That's good.
Which is nice. More is better, always, when it comes to that kind of thing. Scaling, particularly meetings. I feel like meetings are oftentimes with more than 10 people. And if you're really, really keeping track of things, you might want to know everyone who's at the meeting.
Above 50, you think that's really a good use case for campaigns.
Yeah,
and
above 50 is
so I think that's a good mix. It's like saying, listen, if it's 50 people at a meeting, fine. Other than that, that's not really a event anymore. That's something else.
Exactly. And in addition to these, they're sort of lumped in as activity enhancements. Email to Salesforce handles shared activities much better now.
Nice.
So email to Salesforce now understands it should create a shared activity as opposed to a separate activity record for every contact that's being sent the email.
That's actually huge. Yeah. Something I never even thought of.
Me neither. I didn't even know that was a problem, but it is. And
it's a problem. It's now being solved.
It wasn't a huge problem because we obviously didn't care about it, or didn't pick it up as like, oh, this is bad. Blah, blah, blah.
So I have a rat hole. Since we have a light, we have a light agenda. So I have a rat hole. Yeah. So
go on.
I have a rat hole.
Go on down your rat hole.
Very good.
Do you want me to get up and draw on one of these walls?
No, just don't draw on the one that you can't draw on. So we did our service thing before, our service. Our deep dive. And I think we have a deep dive coming up soon, meetings or something we said we were going to do. So let's put that on the agenda somewhere. On the next couple podcasts, once we get settled into our studio.
Yeah. Once we get the feel for it.
Once we get the feel for the studio and get the So I just want to come back because I had 2 experiences this week, and I want to do. So you watched the Colbert Report?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And he does that segment, tip of the hat, wag of the finger.
Oh.
It's basically a funny segment where he says, "This is."
Are you going to tip your hat to somebody?
I'm going to give a tip of the hat,
and I'm
going to give a wag of the finger.
I'm going to tip my hat too. You go first.
All right. So tip of the hat goes to Salesforce support for I put in a ticket to have roll up summary fields increased. Right. So you can. There's a lot of features, and basically, by the way, it'd be a great blog post, but I don't know if anybody would like you writing it. But like, give me the top 10 things you can get done just for free if you ask in Salesforce.
Right.
Write that down.
I'm not going to write that down.
There's
someone else can write that down.
There's something that if you just ask for them, they'll just do for you. So roll up summary fields if you have a good use case.
So what's the standard number?
So standard's 10.
Per object.
You get 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many did you want?
I wanted
more than 10.
I wanted more than 10. I actually went for 20, and then I found out that they'll really do 25 if you want.
Oh.
Anyway, I put in the ticket in the client org, so not in the partner org, but in the client org, and I put in the thing, I put in everything they needed, and I hit submit, and I thought, okay, I'm going to wait 2 days, I'm going to get back the response, it's going to ask me for more, it's going to whatever, it's going to be that whole process that I've railed on before.
Right.
37 minutes later, they've been enabled, enjoy. And I was like,
that's great.
Why can't that be every single time?
I feel like feature activation has a really good process and procedure to it.
Wag of the finger.
Well, let me give a tip of the hat.
Can
I give my tip?
Well, hold on. I put in for the same thing and took 6 days to get an
same thing.
Well, the same type of thing for a different client to get an external ID turned on. One more external ID took 6 days. So
same process.
Same
in
thing.
the client's
Client org put in,
thing.
same thing.
So as partners, we have access to the Salesforce partner portal.
Yes, we do.
And I like to put in all my tickets through there, all my cases.
I don't know why I don't, but I don't like to do that.
Well, all of our projects are also in the partner portal.
That's
and you
true.
can relate. You can go to the project and then relate the case to it. So they don't have to ask you about it later. It answers a few questions up front. I'm trying to deflect the deflection.
Okay.
So I had the same thing this week. I needed to turn on the beta feature of country and state pick lists.
Oh, yeah. I haven't turned that on for anybody yet.
It's rather interesting. A good blog post would be how to do this.
Yeah.
Although I think Matthew Lamb has already written that. If you Google like state country pick list, Matt Lamb, you'll find it.
Okay.
Fellow Salesforce MVP. And he wrote a really good article. There's also a YouTube video from Salesforce on how to do it too. But I put it in because you have to request that.
Right.
I did it through the partner portal related to the project itself. I got an email back within the hour saying, I've taken over your case. And I was like, oh, is it going to be one of these? It's like, I didn't need that email.
Right.
Don't care. Thank you. Don't care.
Right.
Like, thank you for taking it over. Do the thing. Whatever. But then about 35 minutes later, it was within 2 hours, the whole thing was done.
Good.
So I got the case back that said, I have activated it. Can you please check that it's there?
Right.
And I checked, and I did the right thing. I closed the case.
Oh, I usually just respond, please close case.
I did the right thing by him because, I say him, the support representative, because they did the right thing by me by doing this.
So you actually
quickly.
hit the button, close case.
And then you have to give the reason. So I said, oh, the support representative did exactly what I wanted them to do. Thank you very much. Close.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gotten better. So I put in for some extra licenses the other day.
You just gave a whole 6-day example, right? So it hasn't gotten better.
Well, it's
but I feel like feature activation and courtesy license
because in that
is very, very fast.
In that same ticket that took 6 days, I put in the ticket, please email me any updates, and they responded to the ticket within 2 hours saying, we've been calling you we called your phone and we couldn't get through, so I'm responding to the ticket. And I said, well, did you read the ticket
I don't
that
accept
said
those calls?
Well, I said to
sometimes
you to read
they're
the
from
ticket.
India.
I don't care where
I
they're from.
I
said in the ticket anyway. So that was actually my tip of the hat. That was not my wag of the finger. My wag of the finger is for known issues, because now there's been a known issue out there that every one of our clients or lots of our clients have seen. I've tweeted Salesforce about it. They said we'll tweet Salesforce was like, we'll look into it.
This is my known issue.
This is our known issue. It's our known issue.
It's mine because I submitted it.
Yeah. Okay. Salesforce tweeted at me, we're looking into it. We'll look into it. I'll check on the case.
Clearly not a high priority.
Well, it has one of the most people have signed up for it.
That's because we are awesome.
Well, yeah, but 24 people, and it's been 4 months, and this is basically
It's been 3 major releases later.
Yes,
It broke in winter, spring,
so
summer.
Huge wag of the finger for having bugs. This is a bug. There's no way around it.
No, they rightfully admit that it is a bug.
Right.
It's not a feature that's
with no status update for over 3.
Update.
No, there's no saying it's a known issue in review for 4 months is not a status update.
I think it has been updated.
I checked it today.
You did?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to find it.
Well, I tweeted it at Salesforce 20 minutes ago, so go look.
Well, I'll go look there.
Go look there. There's no
easier.
update. There's no. This is coming. We're working on it. Nothing. You find me the update.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything. It just says in review. Status in review. So wag of the finger. If you're gonna put up known issues, then at least update them. Give them some sort of timeline or something. Mm-hmm. Do you find it?
Well, I'm looking for your tweet now instead of looking for the actual known issue. So I have to look for you, which is, you're not at the top of my list.
Anyway, while you do that, I'll move on.
I'm gonna do that.
You do that, I'll move on. It is in there.
Let's see. Here you are. Here it is.
Okay.
So I just found it. This is
great.
Thrilling radio.
It's not radio, but okay.
Well,
If it were radio, it'd be thrilling.
whatever. Yeah, I guess it's just in review. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
where's the status?
Last update was today.
Yeah, I had another client say that they affected by it.
It has 25 people that have
Go look at the
reported
known
it.
issue list and see if there's more that have 25.
I wonder if that's actually is that a filter?
Nope.
Like by people who've said.
I can tell you if you there's a couple down here. There's one here that has 76. There's one that has 25.
Yeah.
Actually, that's ours. 19, 15, 14, 18, 18, 6, 6, 6. Again, 25 is a lot of people going in and saying this affects me.
Oh, this whole thing is. Oh no, it's not sorted that way.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
All right.
So that's my tip of the hat. Wag a finger. I know we'll make chatter in the org now.
All right.
All right.
We rock.
Next up is actually kind of a fun little release from Google. Google's been doing lots of little releases here and there since I/O, but Gmail's put out a new one, which I think makes some sense because it makes a nice little story because it's kind of what we've been asking for.
Oh, you know what's funny? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
But
you're back in the rat hole?
I'm back in the rat. I'm going back into the rat hole. You must have commented on this, on the case that we opened about this known issue.
Maybe.
Well, by mentioning Salesforce, they commented on it a minute ago.
A minute ago?
The case.
Oh, the case
itself.
Oh.
Dear Jason, I'm following up regarding case number. I would like to provide an update that this issue is still not fixed. I'll be providing an update to you on June 30th or once this issue gets fixed.
June 30th?
Let me know if you have any other questions.
That's a month from now.
That's a wag of the finger. That's a punt.
I don't know. Was that a wag of the finger or is it a tip of the hat for getting back to me socially?
It's a tip of the hat for noticing it. It's a wag of the finger for giving a crappy answer.
I'll give you back by June 30th.
I'll get back to you in a month.
December 31st.
Hey, in a month from now, we innovate so fast that in a month from now, it might be fixed.
Well, the other thing is it doesn't have anything timeline on it. Like, it doesn't tell you when it was opened. It doesn't tell you anything about it. Like, I wish it would give you more data, because this should have a number on it, which is how long this thing's been open, right? And I bet you it's over 100 days.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. All right, let's move on.
All right, enough on that. Let's go.
So Google's actually releasing a new feature in Gmail.
Did we close out our why sales team should be excited? I mean,
yes. Go to blog.arkus.com and read it.
All right, cool.
Yeah. And I think it's the last of our Summer 13
I believe
blog
so.
posts.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't think there's anything more scheduled for
because next week's about custom button mastery.
Ooh, ninja styles.
Yes. So just a new sort of Google's built in kind of a big change to their Gmail interface, which is called, they're calling them tabs, or they're calling them, what are they calling them? They're calling them something else. They're calling it a new inbox.
These are not on for our Arkus Inc.
Not
inboxes,
yet. No, I think they're rolling them out. But they're basically these tabs along the top of your inbox. And again, you can see this on the Gmail blog, but it will automatically, and you've seen this in some of the ads for like Outlook.com, but it'll automatically put stuff together. So they have tabs for social, promotions, and updates. And basically, they will go through and say, hey, these things are updates, right? These are shipping notifications, order notifications, promotions. Those are the ones from Google Plus or coupons, Groupon, all that. And then socials, all the updates you get from social. And we're going to kind of keep them separate, and they'll tell you how many there are, and then you can click and just kind of go through them. So
they're just tagging or foldering.
They're kind of automatically filtering out your stuff.
Yeah. So you don't have to create your own filters.
Right. Kind of nice.
My first initial just thinking about it for less than 2 seconds reaction was, ooh, I don't like that.
Okay.
Why are they reading all my stuff? But then I thought about it for
they're already
less than 3 seconds.
Okay.
For more than 3 seconds and said, well, they're already reading it.
So I can basically just plot your brainwaves on a second by second basis.
Pretty much. First 3 seconds was like, oh, I don't like that. They're reading all my stuff. And then after I got over that, I was like, well, I guess they have to read all my stuff, because then the search wouldn't work, and all that other stuff that they throw in there, like ads and whatnot, wouldn't be very relevant, would they?
So I made a prediction 2 years ago that email would be rebuilt, that someone would take it on there to really rebuild what email is.
Yeah,
and
we
does.
talked about email and
I feel like
hashtags and
2 years later, I
stuff.
feel like we're getting there. We're slowly getting there.
Slowly but surely.
Because you see Outlook.com you see all these apps coming out that are doing kind of like how to do email.
I signed up for Outlook.com. I thought I was going to get a at Outlook.com email address.
What'd you get?
Like it was I think it was Hotmail or...
No, Hotmail's gone.
It was one of their like other emails.
Really?
It wasn't at Outlook.com. It wasn't Microsoft.com. It was I feel like it was Hotmail or one of their other ones.
MSN?
It wasn't MSN. I really do feel like it was Hotmail.
And you didn't get an at Outlook?
It wasn't at Outlook. No, it was a brand new account. I was like, I just want an at Outlook.com because I like to just grab my username everywhere.
Oh, that's just ridiculous.
I just like to have it.
All right. Anyway, interesting stuff. Go read the video. I'm liking that people are redefining how we deal with email. I think Gmail's doing a good job. Again, kind of sad because I don't really use the Gmail interface. I use the back end, but I use mail as my front end. But I feel like there's a lot going on here in the mail space, and I'm excited that the kind of people are kind of paying attention to email, what feels like after a long, long time. Like after filters and smart folders, no one's really done anything.
Yeah,
and this is kind of
is WWDC
coming.
when Apple typically announces new operating system stuff?
So they're going to announce 10.9
Whoa,
and
what are they
iOS
do
7.
What are they going to do? They're 10.9. Can they make an OS 11?
This one goes to 11.
Are they going to make an OS 11?
Yeah, of course.
Do they do that, or is it just OS 10
Or they'll do
forever?
something else. They'll call it OS X.
OS X 9.99?
OS Alpha. OS Pi. I don't know.
Whatever.
Anyway, I'm just kind of excited that email is getting one of my favorite subjects of all time, is getting some love in these commercial apps, and then the plugins like Cirrus, which I've been playing with their new version of Cirrus Insights, and
new version.
It's really kind of the connection stuff is getting much better, and I'm really enjoying it. Even tried your little Google Hangouts thing, which is
you turned that on for our
a little annoying, but whatever.
Thing I started one with 2 people and neither of you responded.
That's how good it is.
It doesn't like alert you anywhere. Good.
It works
even in the app.
Oh, it's going off on my iPhone.
I must
iPad
have said
all the time.
Don't allow.
Oh.
I must have checked don't allow alerts or badges or something, which is probably a dumb thing to do for a messaging service.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe if you thought about that for 4 seconds, you would have left it on.
Yeah, but I just went into mail and I could see the Hangout in here, which again is cool, but I don't see any updates or anything to it. So,
all right,
whatever.
Let's go.
Whatevs.
Talk about Salesforce adding Sandbox templates. I don't know how this got by me when I read the notes. Maybe I skimmed them or didn't read them thoroughly, but pretty cool. For the first time in a long time that I can remember, sandboxes are getting like a little refresh. And so now you can you can do a couple different things with sandboxes in the Summer 13. The real big one is being able to pick sets of data. Mm-hmm. So you can say, for this object, I just want to pull for a full sandbox, which not a lot of people have because they're very expensive. That'd also be something I'd like. I'd like to see them do like half sandboxes or quarter sandboxes and allow you to do this without the full sandbox. Say, just pull down contacts and accounts, right, to my sandbox and refresh it with that, as opposed to everything. And there's a lot more data, like the actual showing you how many you have and how many and what's in it and when it was updated and copied on, and the type and description, like all that's getting much, much better. And then really they have this thing called templates. Now, explain it to me. I kind of read it over quickly. I think it's the ability to build like what you want to do so you can repeat it over and over again. Like give me contacts, accounts, and ops.
That's it. You got it.
And make that a template.
Correct.
And then I can just go copy again, copy then, copy again. So if I make something complex, a complex sandbox recipe,
right,
a recipe of my sand, I want some quartz,
I feel like
I want some coral.
It has a lot to do with complicated applications that use a lot of referential data.
Okay.
To build interfaces and to build, sometimes you have to fill in like 4 different objects that are all interrelated in order for an application to just work.
Right.
Let alone like even see it. So So in that regard, it's like, oh man, to replicate this, like when you copy from production to Sandbox, to just replicate the environment by just having like a few records in each object is painful.
Right.
So just here's how I want this to set up, just so that I have the ability to then test my new changes that I want to test. Because oftentimes you'll end up spending some time setting up your sandbox.
Right.
And you don't want to really do that. You just want to off and go.
Yep. So, but it will still not, I'm still not going to get with developer and configuration, even though they have data, and even though now I can pick some data to go across, I'm still not going to be able to pick some data. It's like, just say, I've got 100 leads in my production, give me a configuration only and put 100 leads in it. Because I'm not full anymore.
I'm not sure. I feel like you do get the opportunity to do
that's
data.
A full sandbox.
Well, it's not a full sandbox.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You're limited.
Well, full doesn't
to how many records you can.
But full now loses its with the concept behind full. If you can take some, full goes away. So then, does that mean that everybody who has a sandbox now has the ability to take some data with them? I don't think they can.
It would seem that way.
No,
that's how it seemed to me. When I was reading the release notes, but that was a month ago, so have to wait till it actually comes out and get my hands.
Well, we'll stay on that one, because that again, the sandbox feature is extremely powerful, but it could do with a lot, and this is a good step. Like templates and being able to pick some data, that's pretty powerful stuff. I'm already excited about that. Other things I'm very excited about are your CloudFocus app pick of the week. So let me hear what it is.
All right, this is kind of a cop out.
Oh, total cop out.
But,
not even kinda. Like, to say kinda is to kinda say that it's not.
You're the guy who's picked Spring 11, and I'm gonna continue to forever throw
that was almost 3 years ago.
I could have picked like state and country pick lists, but I didn't.
No, you didn't. It's true. True story.
So about a year ago, and I think it might have even made our top list. I'm looking for the infographic. Let me see.
Oh, yeah. We got to get that on the wall in the studio.
We have our 100 episode
I don't think it
infographic.
Did. I'm looking at no, it's on the top. Oh, this is popular.
No, it did not.
No.
Because it may have been picked after episode 100. I'm not sure.
I just don't think anybody's going to think that this is a top pick.
Well, the weather app, Dark Sky, has been upgraded to 3.0. All right. So it now just gives more. It's more than just it's raining now, it's not raining now app. It actually gives you some real weather data, like, here's the temperature, and like actual data that you care about, in a little like slider view. Yeah, you're looking at it right now. Now, again, the only reason why this popped into my head was because
you had no pick.
Well, A, because I had no pick.
Okay.
But the reason why I wanted to pick it was A, it got upgraded. And B, if you were in or around New York City last week and the weather was pretty bad, and there was a day or two there where it was just raining. It was actually more than a day or two. There were quite a few days where it was just raining like crazy. And I had to meet you somewhere. And I knew it took me to get from point A to point B. It took me about 20 minutes.
Right.
And we were back and forth. And I said, Dark Sky tells me I can leave in 6 minutes. And it's not going to start raining again for another 45 minutes.
Right.
So I'm going to wait 6 minutes and then leave. And lo and behold, like 6 minutes later, it stopped raining completely. And I got to you where I needed to be without rain. And to me, that is just so cool.
It's magic.
And the only reason why I'm picking it again is because it was updated. But just I'm picking it because of a feature that wasn't really upgraded, like the feature that it does really great. But it does that thing so great.
Greatest pick ever.
So great at doing that.
Greatest pick ever.
I'm sorry I'm picking it again. This is for people who just started listening to the podcast, because I know that there's people who didn't hear me pick that in the past. And if you have if you have a weather app on your phone, it should be Dark Sky.
Not even true.
To me, it's true, because that whole tell me when to leave is amazing.
Well, the 10 to when to leave is very good, but if you're gonna have
I
one
have 15
app,
minutes to get lunch. Tell me when I should go get lunch because it's pouring outside. Oh, it's going to rain for the next 3 hours. I guess I'll grin and bear it. Or it's going to stop raining in 15 minutes and start again in 45 minutes. I'll wait 15 minutes to go get lunch.
So I'm going to disagree with you that it's the only app. I'll tell you why. Because the app that I've picked before, I'm not making this my pick. I'll pick another weather app. I have so many weather apps. But Weather is a better app all around because it gives you...
Like the Weather Channel's weather app?
No. It's just called Weather. I've made it my pick of the week. It just gives you a ton more data, right? You can see what's going to happen hourly. You can see what's going to happen next 10 days. You can see what... And then it actually has the same thing. It has the rain is coming, winter is coming thing here, as well as it goes and tells you the next couple of hours. Not as good as Dark Sky. Dark Sky is definitely better at that, but overall. But I'm not making that my pick of the week. I actually changed it from what I had here because I'm going to pick something else. I'm going to pick something, another weather app. Why not? Called Solar. Have I picked Solar before? No. So Solar, I'm holding it up now. It's one of these kind of like, we're going to do weather, but we're going to do weather cool. So Solar...
Looks like it's hot.
Yeah.
Is that what it's supposed to do? Because when I look at your screen, it's like hot.
Yeah. So what's cool about it is when you start it up, it finds your temperature around you, and then the screen is based on, and look, it actually shifts. The screen is actually based on the weather outside. So like right now, it's 91 degrees in New York, and it's saying 3:19 p.m., May 31st, clear, 91 degrees, New York, New York. But watch. The best part about it is, other than your phone,
I'm watching.
Your phone going off.
I'm watching.
All right, watch. So I say that's what it is now, but what's it going to be later? No, you're not watching.
I'm watching.
They can't see your eyes, but I can. All right.
All right. What's it going to be later?
So you put your finger over and you start to scroll up.
Ooh.
And watch the.
It's going to get cooler.
No. Watch the clock in the upper right hand corner, and it's giving you a time. So now I'm going up at 9:20, 10 o'clock.
Oh, it's still going to be really hot.
So 2 in the morning.
Oh, it's still in the 70s.
Right.
That's gross.
And then it goes up again. So you can just do a little like what's coming up by just kind of scrolling up. And then if you scroll down, the best part, it'll give you a little the next couple days.
Does it go like backwards?
It just gives you it just gives you the next couple days. And there's no left, there's no right, there's just up. But it's kind of a neat little kind of way to see what the weather's going to be. And I like that because I like to think about ahead, like, oh, what's it now? It's 7, in the morning, and then kind of scroll up and see it go hot. Right. You're like, okay.
By the way, just to go back to Dark Sky for just a moment, I know you love this. It was funded through Kickstarter.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter project.
Oh, I funded a Kickstarter one this week. I don't like to pick. I fund so many of them. I don't like to pick them until I get them because I feel like I'm kind of whatever. By the way, I'm going camping next weekend. So another rat hole for everybody.
You love camping.
I could literally pick 100 picks for camping. So let me know if you guys want camping picks, camping stuff.
Why don't we just do a camping podcast?
There's nothing.
CloudFocus Weekly, very special camping podcast. Yes, we're camping. We have our laptops and our microphones. We're camping.
We have.
That's our idea of camping.
I could podcast from the campsite, but I will not. All right, so mine is Solar. It is a mobile app. I think it's for Android and for iOS. Very, very nice little cool apps. I must say I use all the apps. I will say I use the Weather Channels app the most. That is the best app. It has the most information.
The Weather Channels app,
yes.
I don't use the most. I scroll my notification center down. Yes. I say, okay, there it is, and I scroll my finger back up. But if I go to a weather application, it is Dark Sky.
It is Dark Sky.
Yep.
All right. Well,
usually because it's raining. That's all I really care about.
That's true. It's usually 91 degrees.
I scroll down to see the temperature, and that's it. And then I hit Dark Sky to see if it's going to rain.
All right. Well, that is the rest of our newest podcast studio. And we will be back next week with another podcast from our studio, which will be great. We actually added in, interesting enough for you Salesforce people, we added in it as a resource in Salesforce.
We did.
Which you're not happy with the way resources work in Salesforce.
Why would it work well?
Because it should.
It's the Salesforce calendar.
Too long of a conversation.
I'm just
Maybe in
our
meetings episode. Maybe in our meetings episode. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. Remember to go to blog.arkusinc.com. Go to facebook.com/arkusinc. Follow us at Just Edelstein over here and Jason M. Atwood, myself. The company's at Twitter.com/Arkus Inc., where we post all that stuff. We're on the Google+. We're also in the new Dreamforce portal. Remember, if you are registering for Dreamforce and you want the $100 MVP discount, Justin is going to quickly look up that code.
Oh, you want me to give it out right this moment?
Well, you can follow us on Twitter and find it.
I can give it out right this. I can do that. I can do these.
What's
things.
the MVP registration code that gets you $100 off your Dreamforce 13?
Are you ready, folks?
I'm ready.
D13 MVP REF. So D for Dreamforce, 13 for the year, MVP for us. REF referral for you.
Okay.
So that's D13 MVP.
You get $100 off. Because
$100 off.
Dreamforce is now like $200 more than it was last year.
Combined with other offers, I believe. Right. And last I saw, there was like a stat count. It was over 90 people have already used the discount code.
Oh, nice. Great.
So keep using it.
Dreamforce.com is where you register.
Yeah.
So we'll be mentioning that and tweeting that out. I will tell you, Dreamforce, like winter is coming because we've already started planning. It's crazy. It's 6 months away and we've already started planning. But we'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, and as always, enjoy those cloudy days.